Hello, I'm going to do a quick video describing my experience at my meditation retreat this past week. It feels a little cold to do it like a video and send it to a bunch of people, but I know a lot of people are curious about what I've done over the last 10, 11, 12 days. So I'm going to do it like this, and then we can connect separately and I won't have to tell the whole story. Actually, before I begin, I'm going to show my view out the window. I'm here in Monterey, and that's what it looks like outside. It's my Airbnb. Yeah, so I had a pretty intense 10 days. I think I really didn't know what I was getting into before it started. All I really thought about a meditation retreat was that you go and you kind of close your eyes and breathe for 100 hours, and then you come out the other side just like chilled out or whatever. But yeah, it was a much deeper experience than I kind of expected, and like it was a lot more than I thought was possible. So the whole technique of Vipassana it's not a religious thing. It's literally just objectively experiencing the sensations in your body and just feeling the sensations of your body, and as you experience different sensations, just maintaining this state of what they call equanimity, which is just like not judging it as good or bad, just experiencing it. So if you're sitting there and you're experiencing like pain in your knee, for example, it's just a sensation of pain. It doesn't like mean anything good or bad. I guess I can get into that more. So yeah, I guess like a high level is like the first 3, almost 4 days, you're just breathing a natural breath and paying attention to different parts of like generally like this area of your nose, and then like the area gets smaller. Like they give you instructions of kind of where to pay attention to, and the idea is that you can kind of increase the precision of paying attention to sensation over time. And yeah, the schedule is super crazy. So you wake up, there's a gong, like everything operates by gongs. Like I didn't have a clock and you don't have your phone, so you just listen for the gong and you kind of know where to go. But they ring a gong at 4 a.m. and then at 4:20. From 4:30 to 6:30 a.m. there's like 2 hours straight of meditation. At 6:30 there's breakfast, and then there's a break until 8. Every single time I took a nap from 7 to like 7:45 because I was pretty tired. So breakfast, nap, then at 8 there's another like 1 hour meditation. From 9 to 11 there's another 2 hour one, and then 11 there's lunch. From like 11:30 to like 12:30 or 12:45 I would take another nap. That's also an opportunity where you can ask questions to the teacher about the technique. From 1 to, I think it's like 1 to 2:30 there's another meditation. 2:30, it doesn't really even matter, but it's just like full on, just like hour meditation, 2 hour meditation back to back. And I like throughout the whole week I was kind of just buzzing with energy. Like as I went to bed, my brain would just like really my ears would be ringing, and I'd be like kind of just like excited, and I would be able to fall asleep really quickly, but I think my sleep quality was kind of lower because I'd be like, my mind was just very active. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I needed a lot of naps. But so I guess the experience itself. Days 1 through 3, they're sort of just telling you, it's like a 2-minute instruction at the beginning of the hour, and they say like, okay, like be alert and attentive, and just pay attention to the sensation of what it feels like to breathe. But pay attention specifically to the part of like in your nostrils or like on your face or whatever. So you're paying attention, you're breathing. And the idea is while you're paying attention to like this area of your face, to just remain in this state of equanimity where you're not like, you're just trying to be as present as you can, and you're not judging. Like, I don't know, I had a lot of thoughts about like stuff in the past, stuff in the future, like, you know, someone's like burping or sneezing or something, and I'm like, what the fuck is that person doing? Just like labeling things like, oh, this feels weird, or like, oh, this is annoying, or I want to stand up, I gotta pee, whatever. Like all kinds of thoughts were like flowing through my head. Like I was thinking about what's going on in the world, whatever, like the first 3 days. But like after 3 to 4 days, a lot of that kind of went away. Like the really distracting thoughts and my kind of like craving to be doing something else. I was very aware. I was just thinking a lot about how long 10 days is. Like, for example, after the first 5 hours of meditation, I thought in my head, I'm like, well, great, we're 5% done. I finished like the first day and a half. It's like, okay, we're 15% done. And that was like, I was just thinking a lot about like, fuck, this is a long time to just like, this is going to be a long week. And it did feel pretty long. Any individual session, most sessions actually felt like pretty fast, but I just kept thinking about how long it was. But yeah, anyway, where was I? So yeah, I have this awesome view, so I'm kind of like distracted a little bit. Let's see. So yeah, you sit down. Okay, yeah. So the first 3 days is just like a very simple task of you're just breathing and paying attention to this sensation in your face. And I'm kind of like, you know, is this it? And then on day 4, they introduced the technique of Vipassana, which is, it's basically scanning your body and feeling the different sensations throughout your body in like a kind of methodical way. So they say, you know, start with your head, like what sensations you feel in your head, go down to like your shoulder, go from like your shoulder, your upper arm, your elbow, your forearm, your wrist, your hand, and like just try and see like how many places in your body where you can feel sensation. So it's like your head, your arm, your other arm, your chest, your back, you know, your quads and your legs, your feet all the way, and then you go back. So you go like body part by body part, and just you're looking out for sensations and feeling sensations. And it probably seems like kind of pointless, or I didn't really get it at first. But what was cool was, so they teach you to go part by part, and you do that for a day. So basically, you know, 10 hours of meditation, just feeling where the sensation is in different parts of your body. And then on day 5, like a big like aha moment for me was they say, okay, start with like your right and left shoulder and scan from your shoulder to your hand, both sides at the same time. And my immediate reaction was like, yeah, no way that's possible. And then as I tried it, I was like, oh shit, like I was actually able to scan, like I was able to feel most of my sensations were either like tingling or pain, but like, yeah, I was able to feel some kind of like tingling in my arm. And like the way I describe this whole experience is it gives you the ability for your brain to like just control where in your body you're feeling and where you're sensing. So like I was able to scan from my shoulder to my hand and feel the sensation go all the way down. And that was really cool. And so you're doing that, and then doing that for another day. And then the next thing was they actually after you're increasing your ability to scan your body, the goal is to get to this point where you can do a full body scan like all at once. So you scan from your head to your toe, and like you're doing like both your arms at the same time, and then like your chest and your back at the same time, and then all the way down. And oh yeah, one other thing about the first few days was like, yeah, just if you've ever tried to meditate before, like obviously, like, I don't know, start meditating. You can be 15 seconds of being like completely present, and then without even realizing it, you'll start thinking of something else, and then you'll catch yourself after a few minutes or a minute or whatever. So like, I think I would, in my first few days, or my first day, I would meditate for like 20 seconds, lose my train of thought, and then like a minute or two in, I'd be like, oh shit, why am I thinking about crypto or something? Like, go back to being present. And so I'd meditate for 15 seconds, lose my train of thought for 1 to 2 minutes, and then bring it back. Same thing, 15 seconds, lose my train of thought, maybe 30 seconds, bring it back. But each time you practice just beginning again and coming back to the present, what I found was that over a few days, I was able to more quickly reduce the amount of time that I was like lost in some other thought. So you're training your focus, and you're increasing your ability to just like stay present and stay focused and stay alert and attentive. So I was able to reduce that amount of time that I was distracted, but then for a while, I wasn't actually able to extend the period of time I was able to stay present. It wasn't probably until day 4 or day 5 that I was going longer than 20 or 30 seconds before getting distracted. But from day 5 to 10, I would be able to go like much longer periods of time where I was just like fully in this like in the zone, in this meditative state. So that was cool. And I think that's just a function of disconnecting from, you're not talking to anyone, you're not making eye contact with anyone, which was like, I thought would be weird, but actually like it's very necessary. Like if you were like making eyes at people, it'd be pretty distracting. So yeah, over time it became easier just to be like fully present, and that was cool. Technique wise, they introduced it to you. It's taking so long, but whatever. 2x speed if you want. Technique wise, the whole point is to like just observe the sensations in your body, and they train you to do that by paying attention to like small spots in your face, and then eventually being able to just scan through your whole body with this crazy precision. And actually, like, for me, that was the most like amazing part of this whole thing. I was so surprised about how much control I could have over like what sensations in my body I pay attention to. It's pretty crazy. So like I have neck pain from a car accident I had a while ago, and like if I want to at any point, I can kind of, before the retreat as well, I can just close my eyes and then feel my neck, because I would just have this like weird spot in my neck. Like without moving, I can just feel it. So I was actually paying attention to, like pretty early on, paying attention to my neck and like feeling my different vertebrae. And like throughout the week, I increased my ability to like feel different parts of my spine and be able to like scan down my spine. So actually I'm just jumping around a lot, I know, but from day 4, when they introduced Vipassana, to day 10, 3 of the hour meditations per day, they call it like a strong determination meditation. And during these meditations, you're supposed to just like sit still the whole time and don't move. So just stay in one place, like find a comfortable seat and then sit there, and then don't move your body at all for a full hour. Just be like determined to not move. And during that time, also just be in this state of complete equanimity where you're just not, just like try not to have any desires to leave or to move or to judge any of your sensations. And the reason that like I'm a very fidgety person, I mean, I think I was, and it seems like this experience made me so much more still, and like just from a pure body perspective, just made me much more still, like a lot less ADHD, I guess. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah. I don't know, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so this strong determination meditation hours, basically my first one, so I'm sitting there cross-legged, I'm like sitting up straight. And I'm actually one big part of this is my whole attitude and the whole thing was like, I'm gonna put everything I have into this, and like I'm gonna get the most out of it and just be like dedicated. Like I'm always gonna show up on time to the meditation hall. Sometimes you have an option to go meditate in your room, and I did twice for for like an hour because I was just like super tired, and I don't know, lost my willpower a little bit. But generally I was like very on point with just like, I would stay still the whole time and just like push myself as hard as I could. And yeah, like the first strong determined meditation, I sat there still, and then I got this cramp in my glute, like in my butt, my hip, I guess. And it was just like, you're sitting on it and it's super uncomfortable. But the whole point is that you sit through that discomfort and you just observe the sensations in your body. You don't necessarily focus on that part of your body that's uncomfortable, but you just keep scanning your body and feeling your body. And the point is that, like, one of the huge teachings there is that it's the teaching of impermanence. Like, nothing is permanent. Like, everything will pass. Like, it's just a sensation. So this sensation of pain I had in my butt, or I had it in my knees at different points, in my lower back, you just sit through it. And in this first one, it was hurting so much, and I just like really wanted to move, but I was trying to keep my mind like, this is fine, like it's just a sensation. But like my body was like, I started sweating, like my hands were super sweaty, and I felt like my armpits were sweating. Like everything was sweaty, and it got to the end of the hour and I just like fell down on the floor. I was so happy that I made it through, because I didn't fidget the whole time, I didn't move around, and I just sat through the pain. So that was cool. Yeah, random little things. I'm just jumping around again, obviously, but things that bothered me and things that I kind of struggled with. I was mentioning how like I went into this with a very much like, I'm gonna put everything I have into this and get the most out of it. And one thing that I just like, it was really distracting for me, was when other students were like leaving in the middle of the meditation to like go chill in their room or like go meditate in their room. Like they would wait until they were kind of allowed to leave, and they just always leave. Or like they'd come to breakfast at 6:30 and they were super tired, like very sleepy face. It was very obvious that they hadn't woken up 2 hours ago to meditate. So it just bugged me a little bit that like, I don't know, probably the first 8 days it was bothering me that like these people weren't like putting everything they had into the retreat and into it. But it's just a reflection of myself, like, and I realized that I'm like, why is this bothering me? Another thing, at the dining hall one day, so there are 10 guys and 17 girls in the thing. And so there are 10 guys, and we go to the dining hall. There's breakfast, lunch, and then the dinner is more like just a little snack, and it's like fruit, and it's like very small. Like you're not really supposed to eat all that much, I guess. And there are 5 bananas, and this guy Raul Raul gets in there at like he's always the first one to like get to the meals. He gets there. There are 5 bananas, and he takes 3 of them. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how could you? Like, what the fuck? That's so fucked up. And I was just like reacting. I wasn't laughing as I was thinking. I'm just thinking it to myself. I'm like, why the fuck would you take 3 bananas? There are only 5, and there are 10 people. Like, whatever. That bothered me. Whatever. What else did I go through? Yeah, it was a lot. It wasn't a lot of, it's not a lot of like, unlike ayahuasca or psychedelics or some personal development seminar, it's not intended to be a time where you're focusing on your life and your plans and like, even like your trauma or whatever, and like really like organizing things. Like I mentioned, like throughout the meditation, you're really supposed to just be scanning sensations throughout your body and then like remaining in the state of equanimity. So you're not intentionally like thinking through shit in your life. Yeah, so I didn't really have any like breakthroughs of like, oh, I'm gonna go like change this one thing. But yeah, generally, I think I was like my first few days, I was very like, as my mind was wandering a lot, I was very good about just catching myself and coming back to the present. Catch myself, come back to the present, which is that's the whole exercise, and that's kind of the whole point of it, is that you can like train yourself to just like really just live in your body and just live in the present. I was really good with that. But what I found is that after we were introduced to the technique of the body scanning, I was just so excited about like how freaking cool it is that you can feel like control your focus in such a precise way throughout your body. Like you can literally train yourself to feel any point in your body at any time. And I just had no idea that was possible. And it's really, really cool. Like a lot of my emotions or a lot of the sensations in my body were like, you know, it's tingling just because I feel it, or like I got bit by a mosquito, so I feel like a little pain or something, or like my hands are sweaty, or like my head would be buzzing a lot. I think just from like being excited and having a lot of energy. But I didn't really have any like huge emotional releases or anything, or any like major like things come up where I had to like sit through it and remain still. But I think those are the things where you can have like a ton of growth. So yeah, I'm really just looking forward to having this tool where I can just feel what's going on in my body. Like, yeah, I have this new ability to just feel what's going on in my body and not react to like the cravings. I'm surprised I like kind of forgot until now about this part, but like one of the biggest teachings they talk about is that like we are always reacting to either cravings or aversions. So like a craving could be like, you know, it could be anything. It could be like sugar, it could be sex, it could be just to scratch yourself, any kind of craving. And then an aversion would be like, okay, I have an aversion to pain or discomfort, so I'm gonna like move around. I have an aversion to, just like any kind of discomfort. But the idea is that anytime you're giving in to a craving or giving into like some kind of aversion, you're kind of losing power, I guess. And so rather than like just reacting all the time, because like your tendency is like when you have a craving or an aversion, just to react like, if my skin is itchy, go like this, you know, like just like scratch myself if I'm itchy. But really, like, instead of just reacting all the time, the idea is just to like experience it as a sensation and just decide if you want to react. So yeah, I guess what I'm most excited about from this whole experience, it's probably been like half an hour, I don't know how long this video has been, but rather than like a massive breakthrough in my life this week, I think what I'm most excited about is having this new tool to navigate life in a much more calm, focused, stable way. And I'm definitely going to keep up this Vipassana technique in my life, just to keep developing my skills and my soul. Yeah, that's all I can think about right now. I probably left a bunch of shit out. Oh, I thought of a bunch of just like, I made a list of a bunch of stupid shit I thought of throughout the week. I don't know. If we chat, I guess I could tell you that. And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else right now. So hope that was informative, and we'll see how long the video went. Oh yeah, I wanted to add one other thing. So part of the thing is that they tell you that like you shouldn't eat too much, because when you eat a lot, it makes meditating harder. And so you kind of figure that out through experience. And my first day, I ate first couple days, I kind of ate a lot. And I realized like, yeah, I don't need to eat so much basically. And so I ate a little less, and I thought a lot about fasting. Like I've done a little bit of fasting before, not very much, but I was thinking like, I've also heard that like meditation and fasting together can be like super incredible, but I didn't talk to anyone about it before. I didn't ask anyone like, oh, is this a good idea or a bad idea? So I just started eating a little bit less starting on day 4. And from day 4 through day 4, 5, 6, 7, I just ate less and less and less and less, probably like 800 calories, 500 calories, 300 calories, 200 calories. Like, I mean, I probably look super skinny right now. I am, but it was funny after the retreat, the guy I shared a table with told me, he's like, yeah, I definitely noticed you were like not eating anything. Like you must have been going through something. But I was eating less because I would eat less and I would just feel better in my meditations. And I just felt awesome until day 7. In the afternoon of day 7, there are like, 4 hours of meditation between like lunch and dinner, or lunch and fruit. And I was just like so distracted, like so foggy, just like really not clear, and just realized like, yeah, I've taken it a little too far. I need to eat food. So from like, the evening of day 7 to the end, I ate like a normal person. But that was definitely an interesting aspect of it for me, was like just kind of pushing myself, like how much of eating is actually just like me craving food, and me like giving into this like craving and like instinct to just like consume food. Yeah, it's actually reminding me of a couple other things now that I've restarted the video. But yeah, like one day, like for lunch, all I had was a half of a banana, and I like peeled a little piece of the banana off. It was like half a banana. I peeled a strip of it down, and then I had a spoon, and I was just eating like over the course of like 20 or 30 minutes, I ate a half a banana, just like tiniest piece at a time, which like, if you had a video of me doing this, it'd probably look so ridiculous, like I was tripping or something. I was just eating like just eating this little half a banana super, super, super slowly while like everyone else in the room has a normal meal. I'm just like taking this banana. Yeah, it also reminds me of just like kind of people and like other guys in the retreat. You just like look around during the week and there'd be someone just like looking up in the sky, like, or like looking at a piece of grass, or like just doing funny things kind of around the land. You know, everyone's in their own zone and going through their own experience. And yeah, I think it's given me a renewed, it really just feels like kind of when you're on acid or you're tripping, like you just notice the really, really small details of things. And so, yeah, I think like, yeah, life feels a little brighter. And yeah, I definitely noticed that, especially just chatting with people after the retreat, you know, like everyone was in this super positive state of mind and everything. But anyway, I think that is all.